Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is a Tuesday. It is 11th of June. It is Jyeshta Masa, or Trivikrama Masa, Shukla Paksham, and Panchami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnavi events in the calendar. So we shall quickly move into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Lord Brahma, he is speaking to Narada Muni. So for all his inquiries, Brahma is answering. So in answering to Narada's questions, he says that I am not the supreme personality of Godhead, but the Lord, due to the Lord's external energy, Maya, everyone thinks that I am the spirit, I am the master of this universe. And that is but actually due to Maya. That Maya, she never comes in front of Krishna, in front of or in the sight of Krishna. She is always Vilajjamanaya. She is ashamed to come in front of Krishna. But people, they speak so much of nonsense things due to her bewildering illusory energy. Likewise, Brahma is saying, Vilajyamanaya yasya statu vikshapate amuya vimohita vikattante mamaham iti duddyaha. Mamaham iti duddyaha. So the people or everyone thinks that it is me, it is mine, something like that. Due to duddyaha, due to the impure intelligence. Due to the illusory energy of the Lord. So later on, Brahma is further saying that everything, all kinds of the ingredients like earth, water, fire, air, and sky, and all the interactions between these material ingredients and the nature of the living entities, everything under the control of Krishna, Vasudeva. There is no meaning apart from that for all this material. In whatever existing in this universe, either moving or non-moving, everything, either material or spiritual, everything under control of the Supreme Lord. There is no other truth. So that's why that's what Brahma is saying to Narada Muni today. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter number 5 and verse number 14. द्रव्यं कर्म च कालस्य स्वभावो जीव एव च वासुदेवात् परो ब्रह्मन् न च अन्यो अर्थो अस्ति तत्त्वतः द्रव्यं कर्म च कालस्य. Dravyam is the ingredients. What are they? All the five material ingredients: earth, water, fire, air, and sky. Dravyam. These are all dravyam. Karmacha and the interactions between these ingredients. Karmacha, kalasya, and the eternal time. Swabhava jiva evacha. Swabhava, the intuition or nature of the living entities. Jivaha, Swabhava jiva evacha. So certainly all these things, dravyam karmacha kalasya swabhava jiva evacha. They're all Vasudevat Paro Brahman. Vasudevat Paro Brahman. Vasudeva. So they are all under the control of Vasudeva. Vasudevat Paro Brahman, O Narada Muni, O Brahman, O Brahmana. They are Vasudevat Paro. Nacha Anyo Adhosti Tatvataha. There is no other meaning apart from that. Nacha Anyo. There is nothing else beyond that. Adhosti. No meaning existing separately. Anyaha Addoho. Addaha is the value or meaning. No separate meaning out of it. Tatvataha, in truth. Likewise, Brahma is saying to Narada Muni. Nachanyo adho asti tatvataha. Scientifically, there is no other reason except they are all under control of the Supreme Lord. Vasudevat Paro. Dravyam karma cha kalasya subhavo jiva eva cha. Vasudevat Paro Brahman. Nacha anyo adho asti tatvataha. The translation for this verse. The five elementary ingredients of creation, the interaction thereof set up by eternal time, and the intuition or nature of the living beings are all differentiated parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, and in truth, there is no other value in them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Jahna Kanya Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. This phenomenal world is impersonally the representation of Vasudeva, because the ingredients of its creation, their interaction, and the empowerment and the enjoyer of the resultant action, the living being, are all produced by the external and internal energies of Lord Krishna. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.4 to 5. The ingredients, namely earth, water, fire, air, and sky, as well as the conception of the material identity, intelligence, and the mind, are produced of the external energy of the Lord. The living entity who enjoys the interaction of the above gross and subtle ingredients are set up by eternal time, is an offense. Oh, sorry, I can't hardly see. Is an offshoot of internal potency with freedom to remain either in the material world or in the spiritual world. In the material world, the living entity is enticed by deluding nescience, but in the spiritual world, he is the normal condition of spiritual existence without any delusion. The living entity is known as the marginal potency of the Lord, but in all circumstances, neither the material ingredients nor the spiritual parts and parcels are independent of the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, for all things, whether products of the external, internal, or marginal potencies of the Lord, are simply displays of the same effulgence of the Lord. Sorry, I haven't got proper glasses. Just as the light, heat, and smoke are displays of fire. None of them is separate from the fire. All of them combine together to be called the fire. Similarly, all phenomenal manifestations, as well as the effulgence of the body of Vasudeva, are his impersonal features, whereas his eternal existence in his transcendental form called Satchitananda Vigraha, distinct from all conceptions of the material ingredients mentioned above. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai, Haribo.
So here Prabhupada is explaining about this phenomenal world is impersonally the representation of Vasudeva. Because these ingredients of its creation, these are all Bhumirapo Nalovayu Kammano Buddhirevacha Ahankariti Yemme Bhinna Prakriti Rastadha Bhinna Prakriti Astada. These 8 separated elements Bhumirapo Nalovayu Kammano Buddhi Ahankara. So these are all separate energy of the Lord. And अपरे मितस्वन्याम स्व प्रकृतिम में विद्धि पराम जीवभूत महाभाहो येदम धारिते jagat. So Krishna says this one, these statements. So अपरे मितस्वन्याम प्रकृतिम विद्धि में पराम जीवभूत महाबाहो. All these living entities, जीवभूत महाबाहो, येदम धारिते jagat, they will come to this material world and they enjoy. Edam dharite jagat. So this is Prabhupada is explaining here. Everything coming from the Krishna only, or the either material or the spiritual. And spiritual entities, the living entities, that belongs to the marginal entity of the Lord. Vishnu Shakti hi paraprokta kshetra jnakya tata para avidya karma sanyaya tritiya shakti rishyate. Tritiya Shakti, that is the third, the marginal energy of the Lord. That is marginal energy. They can either choose to stay in the spiritual world or in the material world. Material world is the external energy of the Lord. Edam dharite jagat, they can come here and they can, who enjoys the interactions of the above gross and subtle ingredients. So this enjoyment, interaction of this subtle and gross elements is the Mahabhuta Nyahankara Buddhirabhyaktam Evacha. This is the Indriyari Dasikam cha Panchachendriya Gocheraham Ichcha Dvesha Sukam Dhukkam Sanyatas Chetana Dhutihi Etat Kshetram Samasena Savikaram Udakrutam Etat Kshetram Samasena Savikaram Udakrutam. So again Krishna speaks this one in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, saying that this material body, etat kshetram samasena savikaram udahrutam, these interactions are going on between all these elements. So who enjoys this interaction of the above gross and subtle ingredients? As long as spirit spark is there, this interactions takes place. As soon as the spirit spark leaves, the body decomposes and merge into the 5 elements, and the mind, intelligence, and ego, everything will be but still he maintains his individuality he carries the subtle body until he has got desires, material desires. So likewise, and then with freedom to remain either in the material world or in the spiritual world. So this is, it is again individual entity's desire. And in the material world, the living entity is enticed by deluding nescience, saying that it is mine, it is me, and I wanted to enjoy. These are by deluding nescience. But in the spiritual world, he is in the normal condition. So vasantyatra purushaha sarve vaikuntamurtayah ye animitta nimittena dharmena aradayan harim. That is the spiritual world. Everyone, that is the normal condition. Yada rahitam atmanam bhutendriya gunasayaihi swarupena mayopetam pasyan swarajyamurtyati. One is completely free from all this material contamination. Swarupena mayopetam, in his own spiritual form, he will go to Vaikuntha planet. That is spiritual existence and without any delusion. And living entity is known as the marginal potency of the Lord. But in all circumstances, neither the material ingredients nor the spiritual parts and parcels are independent of the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. So in all times and the circumstances, they exist within the Lord. So this creation is this coming from Krishna and maintained by the three forms of the Lord. This is the Vishnostu Trini Rupani Purushakyam Anyito Vidhu Ekam tu Mahatrastuhu Dvitiyam tu Andasamtitam. Tridayam Sarabhotastam Tani Jnatva Vimuchyate. One is the Karnadaka Sai Vishnu, from whom all the universes come. Second Vishnu is the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, who enters into each and every universe and he stays there. And then from his navel, this lotus flower come. And then in third Vishnu is the expansion of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, who is super soul in all the living entities. Who understands this? Tani Jnatva Vimuchyate, he will be relieved from this universe, which is the fort. Fort means it is Durga, it is the prison house for all the conditioned souls who are the criminals. They come and capture here and they cannot go out of it. It is encircled by the Saptavadrihi. There are 7 layers of this universe. They cannot cross these things. But who understands this? Vishnostu Trini Rupani Purushakya Anyato Viduhu. They will relieved. Who understands that? Tani Jnatva Muchyate. And then further Prabhupada is explaining here. So for the all things, whether products of external, internal, or marginal potency of the Lord, or simply displays of the same effulgence of the Lord, just as a light, heat, and smoke are displays of fire. So none of them is separate from the fire. This is Yata Ulmukad. Yata Ulmukad. So this is from the a wood. If you take the wood contains, whenever it is lit at the fire, it comes smoke and then fire sparks and everything. But actually, it is the original thing is the fire. Yata ulbukad vispulingad dhumadhva api swasambhavat api atmatven abhimatat yata ulmukad. So this is giving so many examples of this one. Yata Swayonishu yata jyotihi ekam nana pratiyate. It is actually all the living entities belongs to the spiritual world, but they come here. Yoninam gunavaishamyad, because due to the entanglement with contact with the nature, 3 gunas. That way, Purushaha Prakrutehe Tata. That's why it appears that different living entities, a cat, a dog, or a human, or tree, or something like that. But everything there is a spirit spark behind it that belongs to the spiritual nature. So this is all phenomenal manifestations as well as the effulgence of the body of Vasudeva and are his impersonal features, whereas he eternally exists in his transcendental form called Sachidananda Vigraha, distinct from all conceptions of the material ingredients mentioned above. So the Lord stays in his personal form in the Goloka Vrindavana, and he expands into so many Narayana forms. They live in the Vaikuntha forms eternally. They are not subjected to the time factor on 3 material modes of nature. And also in Kailas, Lord also expands as a Lord Shankara who lives in the Kailasa, and Kailasa is also comparatively it is also eternal. So these are all described in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Okay, so this is everything coming from the Lord, but Lord in his two-handed form, Venum Kunantam Arvinda Dalayataksam Barhavatam Samastam Bhuta Sundharangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He lives in the Goloka Vrindavan, in his all transcendental beautiful form. Okay, likewise, Prabhupada is explaining. So here Brahma is saying that one. Dravyam karmasya kalasya swabhavo jiva evacham vasudevat paro brahman nata anyo adhosti tattvataha. Tattvataha. In truth, there is no other meaning for apart from Vasudeva. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today it is a letter to Shyamasundara, February 25th, 1970, Los Angeles. It's a long letter. Can I request Malati Mataji to read at least half of it, please?
My dear Samasundar, please accept my blessing. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 22 February 1970, and noted the contents carefully. In the meantime, I have posted another letter in which I have given hints how George can write the foreword. I want that he may write the foreword by his personal experience. Otherwise, I could write one for him if he so desired. Regarding authorized song, you may inform George that authorized songs means the songs which were sung for or are composed by self-realized acharyas. It is the injunction in the Vaishnava regulation that unauthorized songs or statements should never be heard. The comparison is given that milk, although very nutritious food, if it is touched by the tongue of a serpent, it acts like a poison. So I am giving here with a few lines of authorized song which you may deliver to George. They are as follows. Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Haraya Nama Krishnaya Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha. Krishna 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 He Krishna 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 He Krishna 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 Rakshamam Krishna 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 Pahimam Krishna Kesav Krishna Kesav Krishna Kesav Rakshamam Rama Raghav Rama Raghav Rama Raghav Pahimam. So this song was sung by Lord Chaitanya himself. Therefore, they are most authorized song. I'm very glad to learn that he has given upon composing nonsense songs. It is a great advancement of his spiritual life. But as he has got the aptitude for writing some, I shall be very glad to give him many such themes of song on which he can write in his own language and expression. I'm giving below one theme. My dear Lord, I have simply wasted my privilege of human form of life. This life was meant for understanding Krishna consciousness and the pastimes of Lord Krishna with Radharani. But I did not take care of this important business of life. Therefore, I have not only wasted my valuable time, but also I have willingly drunk poison for committing suicide. My heart is always in blazing fire because of my association with the material sense enjoyment, and I did not fix up my mind in the Krishna conscious movement, which is imported directly from the kingdom of God. This Krishna consciousness movement is inaugurated by Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are Krishna and Balaram respectively. They have descended very kindly to reclaim all fallen soul of this age, of whom the typical example are the two brothers Jagai and Madai. Now, forgetting all mistake that I have committed in my past life, I humbly surrendered unto you, my Lord Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, and also the Srimati Radharani, the daughter of King Vrasvanu. So both of you are present together, and I fully surrounded unto you. Please do not reject me, as I have no other shelter except yours.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Mataji. Can I
Hare Krishna.
request the other devotee to read rest of the letter, please? Any unallocated devotees? Then Srestha Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Hare Krishna devotee, Dandat Pranam. May I please, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please. Yes.
Way up to Prabhuji, just I was with children, sir.
Yeah, from perhaps onwards.
Okay, Haribol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Perhaps you have heard, and George has also heard, my son on this theme. Hari Hari, we feel Janama Gonaino. Hari Hari, we feel Janama Gonainu. So if George can compose a nice song in this one words and sing, I'm sure it will be an approach making incident. There are many hundreds of the thousands of shots them, and if you want to introduce such a song, uh, propi propitious, how to pronounce Prabhuji?
Propitious.
Propitious for the pushing Krishna consciousness moment, that will be very nice. The transcendental vibration Om is also the authorized, but is the specifically sang by the impersonalities. Although there is no uh, incon, incon,
Incongruity.
on on incongruent is still because we are preaching the personal feature of God. We shall not chant Hari Om. Regarding the castle which George has acquired, certainly is it can be a turn to a nice Krishna consciousness ashram, and you can help him your best in the same patterns as you have developed our seven Brucey place. But I do not know whether George will like to install Radha Krishna Murti in that ashram. In case he like to do so, then you and your wife Malati will have to take care of the deity and nicely as possible. I do not know in which way George want to conduct this ashram, and on hearing from you further on this subject, I can give you nice plans. Our general plans is always the same: chanting, dancing, and distributing prasadam. This program can be reduced or enhanced according to the one's financial equipment. If George is actually prepared to spend 50% of his income and thus become a typical example to other Europeans householder, then I shall be able to give him plan for organizing this ashram. So much so that it will be a very attractive to everyone. As you say that George want to invite famous people from all over the world to come there and get the Krishna consciousness, in that case, we shall cooperate with him with full vigor. And if George believe in my potency to speak God consciousness, then I will be a full program of cooperation.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Madam.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Can I request other devotee take a turn, please, to read rest of it?
I can read, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So I'm glad that you are going to Paris and just try to find out a suitable place for our temple there. Regarding Krishna book, our printing cost will be $2 per book. So we have no objection if you can sell at $6 per copy. But here, the opinion is that such a nice book with so many pictures, price at $10 is very cheap. So I think if we keep the price $8, that would be nice. And so far, selling in Europe by yourself, we can discount the price up to 40%, and you can sell in your own way. But how it will be possible that a price is printed at $8 here and $6 in Europe? That will be very much contradictory. Another process is to paste a small label for the European equivalent of $6 for the printed price of $8. Regarding Mayapur Center, when the building will be constructed there, probably your valuable service will be required. Let us hope for the auspicious moment. Yes, I'm sure that when George takes seriously in Krishna consciousness, he will do many things desirable out of his own accord. because Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart, and thus when a devotee is willing to serve, he gives dictation from within. So when George will help establish temples, it will be a great achievement. I already acknowledged that the Govindam record is very nice, and I am sure it will be appreciated. Devanand also has liked it and says that the sound will be very attractive to young people, especially. Regarding the presentation of Govindam, as well as other mantras, the vibration is always pure. It will give the theme, and the sound is westernized, that does not matter. But another point is that this specific sound of Kirtana, as I sing, is also another introduction of art that can be intermingled with the Western art, and such combination will certainly be appreciated. But so far, I know the Kirtana tune is a specific representation of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and this tune is appreciated all over India as unique. They say that the Kirtana tune is specific gift of Bengal, and that is a fact. So why not utilize this tune in Western countries under the able guidance of such expert musician as George? If you arrange, I will certainly come during Ratha Yatra. You will have to arrange for passage for at least 2 men coming and going. I am very glad to learn about the activity of your nice daughter. I am sure she will be a great devotee and a great preacher also in future. I want that on this Krishna culture, the whole world can be united. Our Chaitanya Almanac is being published. In the meantime, I'm sending you one sheet. Keep it carefully for guidance. I think it is better to keep it with Yamuna because she is in charge of deity's worship. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever will wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
I have received one letter from Yamuna and she requires the list. ACBS.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Any takeaway points, Prabhuji, in this letter?
It's a quite a long letter, a lot of instructions for his disciples, Prabhu. But one of the statement was very attractive to me is that let we unite the world by the Krishna consciousness. That is very, very, very important statement I found from this letter, Prabhu, because that's what Prabhupada was really working very hard, that the whole world should be Krishna consciousness. Then there is no war. Always peace and happiness will exist in the whole world. That's what Prabhupada's mission as well. That's what Prabhupada's intention as well. And that's, you could see this letter as well, how much instructions he's giving, and he's just going each and every details of the letter and then try to expand that very nicely so that they can understand things much better, so they can able to preach it to the public in a better way. That's my understanding too.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. It's very nice. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter? Okay, so from here, Prabhupada's letter, we see the songs only must be heard by which are composed by the Vaishnava Acharyas under Vaishnava regulations, that unauthorized songs or statements should never be heard. So this is why sometimes in our Kirtana evenings, we wanted to hear only Acharyas songs or Kirtans and Bhajans, which are authorized. There are many other things outside of things. So many writers, cinema people might have written very nice with good music, but we don't take pleasure in hearing or singing those things. We do in the Vaishnava bhajans, okay, which is authorized one. And Prabhupada is giving these 3 songs, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the other one. And we hear these things from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sing. And then further, Prabhupada mentioning about the writings, what is the theme, what is the mood for any song. All our acharyas, they sing in the mood of separation and the mood of lamenting, like for why we have wasted this human form of life for material enjoyment. Why haven't done this devotional service to Krishna, not taking pleasure in Krishna consciousness. Likewise, this is the kind of a separation and regretting this mood is, and Prabhupada is mentioning this, which is Hari Hari Bafale Janama Gona. Our devotees sing this song very nicely in Kirtan evenings. But this is the mode Prabhupada is mentioning. And also about the Krishna conscious ashrama that George wanted to present and give it to all the devotees and for the dedicate to Krishna, Radha Krishna. So Prabhupada is giving and there's so many plans, but Prabhupada is expecting. And another thing is the Krishna book. It is the printing cost and what kind of prices to be published. That is one more point. And yeah, and also appreciating the Govindam Adipurusham. That one still we are hearing in the temples. Yeah, that is the takeaway. And because of Krishna consciousness, all world can be united. That is the ultimate theme. That is Krishna conscious culture. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for reading this letter. Very long letter. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, so then that is from this Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got preaching practice session with Saranya Mataji at 8 p.m. That is our event. And tomorrow we have got Kirtan evening at 8:30 p.m. That's all from the updates. And dear devotees, if you have got anything to share on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय. Have a Krishna conscious day, everyone.